So this is how to actually get rich in your 20s slash while you're young. And I'm now 26. I'm worth just under $1.1 million liquid. And this probably would have happened sooner if I just realized what I'm about to tell you earlier, at least in my late teens, early 20s. And let me say this right off the rip. I'm not saying to disregard the compound interest, to disregard the long-term investments, patience, all that. I get that, okay? But what I am saying, though, is if you are in your head right now believing this is only possible for people in their 60s or after retirement, or saying, yeah, I'll just let my investments do that and I'll continue working my, 9 to 5 or whatever I want to do, then you're 100% coping. You are going to live an absolutely miserable life if you believe that there isn't more out there. If you believe that you can't get rich in a 2, 3, max 5-year time period in your 20s. If you just continue thinking that way and closing your eyes, hoping things just happen for you, I don't even know what to tell you. Click off this video. You're in for a rude awakening. And this is more of a mindset related video, if you will. And first off, this is assuming you know the basics, which I've talked about a bunch on this channel before. Okay, so learning the high value skill like sales, marketing, software development, copywriting, working for a company to get your practice in, freelancing those skills on your own, and building the agency. Okay, that is how I built majority of that money that I just told you in my wealth. And what I recommend to 99% of people. But I'd say this video is more to get you just the gears turning and to understand and to fuel your thoughts on building wealth young. Okay, so first point, this is a controversial one. You need to get pissed off. You need to actually get frustrated. This was a good first step for me. I wish I did it sooner. But I look at guys like Iman, or more recent cases, Brett Scales. The guy's making $300 to $400 a month profit. Iman is making multiple millions a month profit, and he's younger than me. Both these guys are younger than me, and I used to be that guy being like, no, it's a scam. No, it's bullshit. There's no way. That can't be right. Working my 9 to 5. This was just pretty recently. This is 2019, 2020 when I would look at guys like Iman. I'm just using him as an example because he's so common. And it was only until a couple years ago where it's like, dude, like, what am I doing to myself? I'm totally self-sabotaging. This is somebody who's never going to know my name. He's clearly living a great life. And again, I'm not saying there's certain points that he talks about that I completely disagree with, that I'm just like, dude, what are you talking about? Like, this is not how you run X, Y, and Z. In my opinion, right? Everything is opinion-based, but he's clearly making it work. So I would kind of take that and be like, all right, dude, listen, I could either, hold my pitchfork in the ground and hope that things change, or I could be like, what can I learn from this guy? What can this guy actually teach me? What can this mindset shift of like, no, this is actually frustrating. This should frustrate me. This guy has the exact same tools, has the exact same internet connection, has the exact same reach that I could have, but he's just clearly, playing the strings a little bit differently. So think that way. You need to get frustrated. You should be feeling pissed off at yourself right now. And if you're in your late 20s, because I know I got some guys watching here who are 30, 35, it's like, you should be really pissed off, dude. You should feel behind, which goes on to my second point, is channeling that frustration into action, if you will. You should feel frustrated, behind, etc. But action quiets that. Action gets rid of that. When you sit there anxious and be like, dude, I'm behind. I'm feeling this right now. I've said this before, but I'm having a hard time sleeping because of how much progress AI is making and how quickly things are adapting. And I'm like, dude, I'm going to get left behind in my businesses with this YouTube stuff. Like, I could speed up my proficiency and my efficiency by like 50% if I get my talking points done quicker, if I can get my thumbnails edited quicker. Like, this should make you anxious. And what I'm now doing is, like, I used to sit there kind of just twiddling my thumbs, being all worried, but now I'm like, okay, I literally go into this mode of just like fight or flight. I'm searching, I'm researching, I'm staying way up later than I should, but it feels good. I feel productive because I'm actually putting these nerves and these feelings and my blood boiling into action, into doing something about it, right? I don't care if you've been thinking of starting a business for a minute. Go freaking print a high quality resume, go make some looms, use the software, throw yourself on camera. Doesn't matter if you look like crap, and just apply to 20 different sales jobs, 25 different sales jobs, because I'm all for learning stuff, podcasts, magazines, books, whatever the hell. But the only way you're going to learn something is by action, is by actually doing it, right? Is by practice and reps, right? And what I'll say is like, well, okay, if I'm doing action, then, what if it doesn't work? It's like, dude, volume negates luck, Okay, shout out Hermosi. I'm a huge fan of that quote because it's so damn true. If you just continue throwing that shit at the wall, at some point, something will stick. And the point I'm trying to make here and why I said this to my guys in your 20s is because you have so much time. I'm all for patience. I'm like this 50-50 kind of Q guy where it's like 50% bull in a china shop. Just throw shit at a wall. Go as fast as you can every single day. And the other 50% is let time do its thing. Let the opportunity marinate a little bit. Let things kind of sit there, right? You have to do that. And it's just this pure combination of both. So what happens is the more reps you put in, naturally, the better you're going to get, right? Every world-class salesperson, marketer, Iman, Hermosi, those guys all started as rookies. They all started as noobs. They started at zero, just like all of us, just like me, just like you, right? So you need to channel that, okay? And I just think a lot of people don't understand that if you just do things, if you just use your free will, which God gave you, why not do that, right? So I know it's very simple, but it's a good point that I wanted to get out of the way first. Point number 3, 2 to 5 years in Brez Scales' way, 1 year or 6 months of head down focus is able to set yourself up for life, or you can live your entire life in mediocrity by just coasting. Sure, you may not have to sprint, you may not have to work super hard, but you're going to spend your entire life in mediocrity. And I know Hermosi uses the decade. Like if you just sacrifice a decade, you can have the rest of your life to do whatever you want. That's kind of what I'm trying to say here. What I mean by this is you will have to give up. You will have to sacrifice. You have to work harder than you've ever thought when you're young if you want to get rich, especially right now. But realize that if you play a few cards right when you're in your 20s, you could set yourself up for not just yourself, your entire future family, your entire generation. If you move with intention now, you can do whatever you want later. But if you just coast, especially now, but also through the rest of your life, sure, you may not feel the pain right now. You may not ever feel the pain, but you will 100% feel that level of average in the future. I promise that. You're also going to be mediocre, which I don't know about you, but that scares the hell out of me. That is like what the biggest driver of my kind of success has been, is like, dude, I don't want to be like everyone else. I don't want to be average. I know I need to commit to something right now, make a ton of money now. I don't care if I have to sacrifice some stupid social life that I don't even want for a little bit. I like working. I like being inside. And once a month, a couple times a month, I'll go out and I'll just be a total degenerate. I'll gamble, I'll drink, I'll do whatever the hell I want, I'll eat like crap, I'll catch up with friends, and then I go back in, right? I go back into hermit mode, if you will. That's just how I like it. And until I have kids, I think that works very well for me. Financially, it's worked extremely well, and I still have a lot to achieve. I'm still, I would call it like broke rich right now, where it's like $1 million is barely scratching the surface. But again, I'm just trying to get the point across, okay? So these last 2 points are arguably the most important, and that is speed versus traditional timelines. Compound interest takes decades. That's great. Keep that working in the background. Online businesses can scale stupidly quick, and that's exactly what you're seeing in real time as we speak. A YouTube channel, e-commerce store, agency, SaaS product, doesn't matter. That can generate 6 to 8 figures within 1 to 2 years. No bullshit. Not 30, not 40, not 50, not what it takes your, 1,000, couple grand a month going into the S&P. This is like, this thing can, spread like a wildfire, right? And that statement alone is what is unfathomable to most people, which is why what you consume, what you watch, the people you hang around is so damn important, guys. I hate to put it this way, but people from the normie land will not understand that you can make $1 million in a couple of years if you just focus on the right vehicle, if you're just working within the same, business opportunity. That could be parents, relatives, colleagues. It doesn't really matter. You just have to realize that things are happening so much quicker than they used to. And that means cash flow generation as well. With businesses like this, at a certain level, again, you're not just trading time for money. You're building assets that work while you sleep. Most people, again, they just don't understand that. They're used to clocking in, clocking out, getting their paycheck, and never investing a dime, never actually getting ahead, and just spinning their wheels. Okay, so you have to think this way. And the last point is just, I don't know what I was going to call this. I'm just going to call it technological leverage. The internet has created so many leverage opportunities, and I love that word because it can mean so many things. One person, a one-person business, one person, one creator can reach millions of customers, automate business processes that you never would have even understood, and scale without hiring massive teams. Previous generations, like again, our parents, colleagues, they needed physical infrastructure. They needed a physical office, employees, huge capital, huge inventory to reach the same audience size. Like, it was just like local newspaper ads and like billboard ads. With social, with content, with building an audience, dude, you don't need any of that. I have people in crazy countries. I swear I have dozens of countries of people watching my stuff at any given time. It blows my mind still, me, to this day. That could do the same for your business. Again, I'll use guys like Iman. Again, I'll use guys like Brett Scales, Hormozy, Jeremy Miner, Cole Gordon, all these guys. They have people watching them from all over the world, and they have these assets working for them in the background while they sleep, and that is leverage, right? That is I don't care if you want to call it the online economy, creator economy, whatever the hell you want to call it, it doesn't matter. You need to get your slice. You need to get your piece of the pie, and that is how you can get stupidly rich, is by just documenting and putting yourself out there and inspiring others. So again, I'll keep this one shorter. I had a few more points, but I'll park it there. As always, if you made it this far, I want to see you win. Thank you for your time.